Father, the sleeper has awakened!
What's up, YouTube? It's Artisan MC, and on this PMDM, I'm going to talk about the whole Jaxn thing. Now, I was really trying hard not to hear anything about this whole situation because, truthfully, I don't give a fuck about Jaxn, and not because I know that much about him, just because I don't care. Why do I care about some dude telling a bunch of women exactly what they want to hear and then paying him a shitload of money for it? I mean, is that not stock and trade of how this society works now? If you kiss their ass, they reward you with a bunch of money because they like hearing that shit, no matter how untrue it is. I don't care. It's not making a ripple in my life. The only reason I know of his name at all is primarily from this space, being in this sphere, because his name comes up and is thrown into conversations all the time. And from one of the exes I had who actually listened to him about what he thought relationships should be and what men in relationships should be. And she actually quoted that shit to me before, and I laughed in her fucking face because I thought how ridiculous it was, because I'd already heard of this guy from being in the sphere and actually listened to some of his content and was like, it knew he was on some bullshit. I'm like, look, he probably the same type of dude he talking about. And sure enough, here we are, not so many years later, and here it is being discovered that this dude was like straight up, fadangling on the side of his wife. Now, far be it from me to shit on anybody necessarily from doing that, because I myself have been guilty of doing the same damn thing. It happens in relationships, and since it has happened to me and I've done it in relationships, and it's something that is common in this society, I don't look at it the same way I did when I was an idealistic young person, being somebody on the other side of a long relationship, a marriage, and a divorce. I see it a little bit differently, and that difference can cause problems for some people. Now, I'll say right up front that whatever went on between Jaxn and his wife is their goddamn business. I don't care. I don't care that he was banging this chick on the side. I don't care if he had 10 chicks he was banging on the side. I don't give a shit. That's between him and his damn wife. Everybody speculating and possibly trying to figure out how it's gonna affect his money is just pocket watching to me. I don't care what it does for him or his relationship or his brand or any of that shit. That's his damn business. If he chose to be that goddamn messy with the shit, then he gets what he gets from that. Me, I understand that messing around, or whatever you want to call it, cheating, philandering, whatever the fuck it is, men of means have the ability to do that kind of shit. The only difference between the past and now with that is that men of means always get exposed nowadays by the chick that they're doing it with, which nobody actually shames that chick. Everybody wants to shame the guy, but they don't shame the chick. So I'm looking at this, and true enough, you might want to have, if you're married, a decent relationship where that's not going on. But having been married, I understand that married people decide what their marriage is going to be. So if the husband and wife decide that the husband is free to go be tipping out every Tuesday and have a different chick every Tuesday, that's what the hell they decided in their marriage, and that's how that shit goes. Nobody else gets the right to look at it and judge it and decide if it's wrong or if it's right. Problem being is that the chick that he chose to mess around with decided she wanted to cash in on the shit, and best believe for me, she cashed in on the shit, because otherwise, why would she fucking tell? You know, she decided she wanted to turn him in and, you know, besmirch his name and gain, 15 minutes for herself to be the one to show up and say, yes, I was this side chick, and all this other stuff happened. And nobody actually speculates this chick. They just pat her on the head and say thank you for coming forward and exposing this terrible bad man. But having been a married man in this situation and having, fallen prey to this, I understand that these women make their choices all along the way as well. I know as a single dude and being a married man, I had more women hitting on me when I was married than I was when I was single. That's just a reality. Women look for that kind of shit. They look for that kind of shit to fuck over other women and prove that they are better than the woman that this guy has. All the time. And it's not surprising to see that what he picked, or what was hunting him, if you listen to enough stuff in this sphere and understand that women hunt just like men hunt, that she was looking for him. She knew who the fuck he was. There's hardly a chance that she didn't know who he was, and she knew he was married and didn't care, because she was getting the bread and circus, or the goodies by the door, and not having to deal with all the extra shit, which is his emotional problems and him wanting to just talk and all that extra, life stuff that she didn't want to have to hear. She got the fun part. She got to get money spent on her and get the nice gifts and all that rest of that stuff, and let the wife deal with all that drama. That's how it works. Now, it may seem like I'm shaming the woman in this situation, and that's possible because, like I told you up front, I don't give a fuck about Derek Jaxn. I'm not protecting him. He's going to get what the hell he's going to get. But one of the things I used to do for fun back when I was married was watch the show Cheaters, right? And one of the things I would do just as a psychological experiment, which was whoever was cheating, I would pick and guess what the story was going to be when they busted their spouse or whoever, what the story was going to be, why that person was out there cheating. Because having gone through this shit, I can tell you, cheating is not the problem, it's the symptom of the problem. It's just a symptom of a problem that's already going on. And so what you would always hear is when they would roll up on some van in a parking lot somewhere where some chick is giving up the whole pudding pop to a motherfucker, and the husband is there, came off his business trip and busted her, what's the first thing that comes out of her mouth? Oh, you work too much. All right? They bust a dude and he's in the laundromat or in the bed of their house with the chick, and they bust in with the girl like, what are you doing, so-and-so? What the hell do you think he would say? Well, you never pay enough attention to me. Same types of shit every time. And what I would notice from watching these shows is who they picked. It was always somebody opposite of what they had at home. If the dude on the cheater staff was with some big old brimalo, I can guarantee you it was some thin chick that the dude was cheating with. Some little tiny, fun, out there, pretty girl that he was cheating with. And sure enough, most of the time it was. If the dude was just some squared away dude, button down shirt, khaki pants and loafers and stuff like that, she was out there with some thug ass dude fucking him raw, doing all kind of nasty shit somewhere random. That's just what the fuck it was, dude. People do this shit. This culture, especially nowadays, is not designed for people to be in relationships. This culture doesn't even like fucking relationships, because it does everything it can to discourage people from having them and fuck them up if they in it. They put enough messages out there through social media and everything else to make sure people do not stay coupled and that they stay running around fucking on everything that moves as much as possible. Men and women. Now, because this culture is so slow pitching to the women now that they want them to be as empowered as men and live lives like they are fucking men, this shit happens. It happens more. So, Derek getting caught doing this shit, it's like, okay, is anybody really surprised? Dude make millions of dollars from just talking to women. Do you think there's not chicks that's out there wanting to be his side piece, willing to be his side piece? I heard this from women that I know, just about celebrities. I'd be a side bitch. He looked like his dick smelled good. I'd fuck him. I don't want all his problems. I just want a little bit of time. During the pandemic, come on, man. It's not surprising in the least. And for me, I'm not shaming this dude about fucking cheating. Look, everybody at some point in time is gonna have to deal with this shit. It happens. It just happens. I don't think, personally, at this point in my life, after the things that I've been through and the things that I've seen, I do not believe human beings are made to actually be that damn monogamous. Not for long periods of time. They're not. Eventually, somebody is going to fuck up. And when it happens, you're going to have to deal with it, and that's what you're going to see, what kind of fucking relationship you actually have. Do you have one that's based on just fucking monogamous sex? Or do you have a relationship that's based on, I'm going to let you be you, and you're going to let me be me? That's what you're going to wait to find out. That's when the rubber is going to meet the road. That's when it met the road in my damn relationship. Marriage. And I'm not saying that's for everybody, but the greater understanding I got from that is that this is something common. It's not an uncommon thing. It's fucking common. Common as hell. That's why I don't put a lot of stock in pseudo boyfriend and girlfriend relationships. That's for kids. That's grade school shit. That's stuff that they deal with. For me, you either gonna be a grown man or a grown woman, and grown men and grown women have fucking choices to make. And if you decide to be in a relationship and couple up, then that's what the hell you're gonna do. And if you decide to play by those rules or decide to make the rules for yourself and what your relationship is gonna be, then that's on you. You have to take ownership of that. And nobody outside of that relationship has the right to say a goddamn thing or pass any judgment on you for how they believe your relationship should be going. Because if you really want to know, the main problem in most of these damn relationships is everybody that don't have the type of relationship you do wants to tell you how your fucking relationship should be. And that's absolutely fucking asinine. If you don't think so, look at somebody who's married and how many of their friends who are single have so much fucking advice for them on how they should be married. Ask some of your friends that's divorced what was the cause of that marriage. I think marriage falling apart. Probably a lot of influence of people on the outside telling them what their relationship should be and not them listening and making with their partner what their relationship is going to be. I believe Green Gorilla spoke on this before, that the outside crew is actually manipulating your relationship. It is. So that's it for me. I just spoke on this shit because it's been around for a week and I'm probably the last one to speak on this, and I'm sure that by the time I speak on it and get this video cut, this shit will go away and be gone until, Derek Jaxn says he more fervently gave his life over to Christ, or he figured out a way to monopolize on this and turned it into more money, saying that he is now reformed. He's been a sinner and now he's reformed and he will ascend with angel wings, higher level of celebrity notoriety and payoffs, because in this culture right now, you fail upwards dramatically. So that's it for me. I just want to share my thoughts on this shit. I don't give a fuck about what he did. I really question the woman why she fucking told, and wonder who's gonna pay her for that shit. But do I think it's gonna hurt Derek? No, he's gonna make more money out of this shit than he was making before. So congrats, I guess. What the fuck ever. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.